Hello, and welcome to Navigating to Success. I'm Jeff Carlton, certified focal point business and executive coach. Very excited to have a Wyoming business owner, Itai Boneh. Jackson Hole, Wyoming has a really interesting company called Tours and Color. Welcome, Itai.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jeff.
Yeah, you bet. It's a pleasure. Like we talked about before, Business Journeys Explored is all about talking about the unique and varied businesses in the Intermountain West and Western Plains states. So tell us about Tours and Color. What do you do?
Sure. Yeah. So being in Jackson Hole, you get the luxury and the opportunity of being very close to two amazing national parks. The one that is closer to us is Grand Teton National Park. It's about a 10-minute drive from Jackson, just going north. And then once you make your way all the way through Grand Teton National Park, which will take you about an hour and a half, you make your way into the world-renowned Yellowstone. And the idea behind Tours in Color is you give people from all over the country, all over the world, the opportunity to come and see these parks from the luxury of a personal vehicle. It's not supposed to be super hardy. We're going to the backcountry trying to find grizzly that might attack us, but more so, we'll find maybe a grizzly bear or some bison on the side of the road, get some nice photos, really get the idea of what Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park is for any kind of demographic. You could be anywhere from a baby to an older person per se. So really, we just want to show off these beautiful parks to everybody.
That's great. And you bring up an important point. Bears will eat you.
Yeah, yeah, you
So
want to be safe around them.
yeah, if you're not familiar with wilderness and how to protect yourself, find somebody who is. That's important for us mountain dwellers. So how big are you now? How many employees?
Yeah, we are very small, I would say. It's just me and one more guide. So it's just the two of us kind of alternating between taking out tours. We're hoping to expand, but this summer, having started back in the winter, we're kind of prepping up for the summer, kind of gauging what the summer is going to look like. So far, it's been really good. We're optimistic about the tours that are coming in, and maybe come next summer, we can start to expand, get another vehicle, maybe start to get a couple more guides as well.
So it's completely seasonal business. Do you exploit, or I don't know if exploit, but do you take advantage of the opportunity of the winter sports and the things going on in Jackson as well?
Definitely, yeah. So that's the other really nice thing about living here in Jackson is that not only do we have these national parks, but we have our world-renowned Jackson Hole Ski Resort as well, which means that we get a lot of tourism coming our way in the wintertime. So, a lot of people fly out here from, again, all over the country, all over the world, and they come here to ski. And sometimes they're not really aware that, their bodies can't ski on this type of mountain for 3 days in a row. And because of that, there are opportunities like our tours where we will take winter tours out and, we'll try to find some pretty neat wildlife. In the wintertime, you get a lot of opportunities to find things like bighorn sheep, opportunities to find wolves. So you get kind of a different realm. And honestly, in my opinion, it looks like a different planet here. So I tell people, if you're going to come to Jackson, you almost have to come for both seasons.
No, I completely agree. Having spent a lot of time there, and you also have the elk refuge. There's a ton of things to do if you're not a downhill or alpine skier for sure. Um, Real quick, how long ago did you start Tours in Color? How new is the company?
Yeah. So we just started last winter, meaning that, we started gathering our commercial use authorization to get permits from the National Park Service. We started, getting the domain, getting the LLC, getting the marketing going so that come this summer, we should be hitting the road.
Okay. So you're still in the startup phase. This is your first full season.
Yeah. Yeah. This will be our first full season.
All right, that's exciting times. And that makes it right for the questions. What so far, you know, have you had clientele come through? You've obviously got bookings on, but trying to gauge um, how much running the business as opposed to forming the business have you have you had to do?
Sure. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a two-part question. As far as if we've had clients, right now you're looking at the very like beginning end of our summer season. Technically, the southern entrance to Yellowstone is still not open. It'll open this Friday, and our first tour is gonna happen May 14th, at least for the time being. So I think that's a Tuesday, something like that. But um, for the time being, because we're kind of in that ramp up phase, it's been just mostly kind of back end management of the company, making sure we're good to go. This summertime is really going to be that period for us to see, hey, how much am I going to be able to really be out there in the field compared to taking the back seat and making sure that all our tours are scheduled, the meals are ready to go, um, the vehicles prepped, things like that.
No, it's a full service tour. It's not okay, we're going to stop at McDonald's or a
Yeah.
restaurant along the way. You're catering to kind of a higher end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're looking more so for the market that is a little bit on the higher end. You know, with our capabilities right now, you know, we can't do like a public tour. I'm not capable of, you know, getting a complete bus full of strangers together. If I had that opportunity, maybe I'll take it. I mean, the more people who get to see this park, that's awesome. And if that works for them at that budget, I totally get it. But that's not who we cater to. No.
That's interesting. What has been your key or your best marketing strategy so far? It's helping you.
Yeah, for us, I would say that the best way to market our tours is to almost outsource it, which seems kind of lazy. And not to say that we haven't tried many marketing strategies, we definitely have. But the bulk of the tours have been coming in from things such as TripAdvisor, Viator, Get Your Guide. You know, these companies have been doing it for a lot longer than we have, and they've got, you know, a lot of money behind them. So if I can kind of outsource it to them on this beautiful platform that millions of people are going on every year and researching tours on, then why not? You know, I'll give them that commission that they request. And, you know, I like to kind of use this metaphor that's almost like if I had some kind of like cookie, I'm a baker and I wanted to sell cookies, I would unfortunately, but also fortunately, want to sell at some kind of grocery store because even though they did take some of my commission, they're probably selling a lot more cookies than I can out of my backyard.
Yeah, and you know, there's like a couple ways you can put that. You know, Elon Musk hire people that are smarter than you. Um, and if you're not good at something, find somebody who's better at it. And even if you are good at it, find somebody who's better at it, and it frees you up to run other elements of the business. I think it's really smart and good strategy. And I reinvent the wheel.
Mhm.
Uh,
Definitely.
and do it. So any has has AI or any of that helped you in your business formation and strategies using technology?
You know, that's a good question too. I'm sure there's something in the back end that I'm not necessarily seeing. Maybe those third party companies such as Viator, TripAdvisor, I'm sure they're utilizing that kind of stuff, but I just personally don't see it. You know, we created our website not too long ago either, and I had the option to utilize that. You know, I was given the option of writing my website through some kind of AI tool, and I decided to forego it because I wanted it to be genuine. I wanted people to know that it's coming from a human, because the tours themselves are going to be coming from a human as well.
I understand that, and I do get mixed answers, and I have mixed feelings about it as well. I use AI in a limited capacity to check grammar, but I'm very emphatic about making sure that what I post and what I publish is written in my voice, um, and not somebody else's. So yeah, hats off. I certainly certainly can get behind you on that one. Um, so what does Tours in Color look like in 12 or 36 months? What's your strategic plan?
Yeah. I would say our idea is really to try to find success this summer. So far, we're looking great. I'm very happy with the tours we have scheduled. I think that by the end of this summer, that is a question I will be more apt to answer. But to answer it right now, ideally, come or 12 months from now, come 24 months from now, we will grow and we will give more and more people the opportunity of going into these beautiful parks and giving them great service, a great tour all around, and an experience to always remember.
No, that that's good for where you're at right now. I think that's I mean, you got a great plan, and seeing where it makes first contact with the customer, and how to shape it and grow it. That will come. Um, what's been your biggest challenge in forming the business formation, starting up?
Mhm. I would say the biggest challenge is trying to network ourselves within our town. So even though Jackson's not that big, um, even though we're not that big, there are still competitors out there that do things that are very similar to us. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, I just want to do my own thing and give people the service that I think is best. But again, not to take away from them. I think they're doing a great job as well. But when you have that competition and when some people have already taken over this small town of Jackson, it's really hard to step through the door when you're trying to set up some kind of affiliate with the concierge desk at a hotel because they're
Sure.
like, who the heck are you? We already have these contracts set up with these people. I don't need you. So far, I would say that's been the biggest challenge, and I'm hoping that as we grow, we'll kind of make a name for ourselves, and that'll start to ease up.
I think that's a common growing pain of any new company is breaking in, and at some point, I know how many people come in and out of Jackson Hole. There's probably not enough people to support. There's probably not enough providers to cater to as many people desire the service. So I'm pretty optimistic for your success. Any parting thoughts or final things? How do people find you?
Yeah, very simple. Toursandcolor.com. So I like to say if it makes it easier to remember, especially for maybe my older generation, kind of like TV in color, but instead it's tours in color. And the idea behind the name is really, these parks get to be so vivid, so many colors, and that's how we came up with it. We just want to show off all these beautiful colors that we have, both in Grand Teton National Park and of course in Yellowstone.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, we'll wrap this episode of Navigating to Success up. I hope everybody enjoyed this one. And Itai, thank you very much for joining me. It's refreshing to hear from a new startup.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks again for having me, Jeff. This was a nice experience.
Great. All right. We'll see everybody next time, and keep those businesses thriving.